All right, Missy, I'm going to show you how to make your mom's garbanzo beans. This is everything that you're going to need. A pack of chorizo, a pack of ham, a can of tomato sauce. She didn't use this, but I love it and I use it, and Bobby loved it when he had my beans. It's an option. And so are the chili flakes. Those are also an option. But then I use salt, her hot sauce, garlic. She used chicken bouillon, bay leaves, the vinegar for the sofrito, olive oil, her sazon con cilantro y achote, and then complete seasoning, sazon completa. She used fresh peppers and onions. I opt for the frozen one. Again, your choice. I do the frozen one because after I cook my sofrito, I put mine in the blender and blend it to a puree because Justin doesn't like vegetables. Thea Sandra would chop hers really, really small, but I puree mine. And I think pureeing it helps make the beans thicker and it gives it a little bit more flavor, but that's, again, that's your choice. I also got in the pot right here some red potatoes cut up bite-sized pieces and some baby carrots boiling just be soft for the beans. And then over here I got one bag of the garbanzo bean softening in my pressure cooker. You can use the canned. If you do the canned, it would be 4 regular or 2 large cans for the recipe. But I'm doing fresh. If you do fresh, you have to soak your beans overnight before you even use the pressure cooker. All right. So the thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to get everything together to make my sofrito. I'm going to aim the camera so you can just see what I'm doing. I don't do measurement. It's just going to be a pinch of this, a dash of that. I'll show the amount as I do it before I put it into the pan. All right, so first, I already washed my hands, FYI. We're gonna do the ham steak. I'm doing one that's about an 8-ounce ham steak is what I'm gonna cut up. Oh yeah, while I'm cutting up my meats, I'm gonna go ahead and get my pan heated up so I can start the sofrito. Okay. Next, I'm gonna do the chorizo, the whole pack. All right, so this is about the size I cut the ham, and this is about the size that I cut the chorizo. All right, hold on. Okay. I don't know, maybe a few tablespoons of olive oil in the pan. I'm going to do the whole 12-ounce bag of the, actually no, I'm going to do half of a 12-ounce bag of the peppers and onions. I always season my sofrito with salt and pepper. I don't think your mom did though, but I do. She did use the sazon completo. I do 2 bay leaves. I do some red wine vinegar. I don't know, maybe about a teaspoon of red wine vinegar. And then I do a shit ton of garlic because I like garlic. You can do however much garlic you want. I'm adding 1 pack of the sazon with the cilantro and achote. Alright, we're going to do 1 whole can of tomato sauce into the beans too. Like I said, I blend my sofrito because of Justin. You don't have to do this part, but I do. Alright, so I left the bay leaves are still in the frying pan, and I'm going to add the ham and the chorizo to the frying pan with the bay leaves and let that cook a little bit while I blend the vegetables up. Alright. See, I make mine like, I don't know. Then I just add it right back to the frying pan with the meat to let it give the meat more flavor. And I'll have this on low just to simmer just for a few minutes so the meat can cook a little bit more and get some of that in. And then we're going to start adding, once the potatoes and carrots are soft, we're going to start adding everything else into the pressure cooker. I can actually go ahead and start. Yeah, I'm going to add this stuff into the pan and then just dump everything into the pressure cooker at the end. Whole can. The chicken bouillon is going to be, oopsie, maybe about, I don't know, tablespoon, teaspoon, between a teaspoon and a tablespoon somewhere. I don't know, right there, that much. That much, okay, that much. Then I like to add chili flakes because, again, it's my option. And I do about that much right there. Okay. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of this because it's delicious. About that much. 2 more shakes. Okay. Now for the hot sauce, Sandra always did 5 dashes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Always watched her go 5 times. Okay. Again, this one is me adding in extra because I just think it makes it extra delicious. You don't have to put this in. If you want it to taste more like your mom's, you can leave this out. I do recommend this though. And I would put in about that much right there. Alright, let's see if the potatoes and carrots are fork tender. Now in the meantime, while you're making this sofrito, if you're using the canned beans, heat them up in a pot, start bringing them to a boil. That way when you start adding in your stuff, it's already warm. And your potatoes and carrots are, my potatoes and carrots are tender, so I'm going to add them to this pan no, I'm going to add this directly to the pot and then add this directly to the pot. I'm going to drain that first though. Alright, so again, I got my pot full of beans. They've been coming to a boil. I, again, used fresh ones so they sat overnight in water and pressure cooked for about an hour to get them to be tender. Here's my potatoes and carrots ready to go, and everything else right here I added to the pan. Your mom would normally leave the sofrito separately and add seasonings in and everything one at a time into the pot after the beans were done, but I just add everything into one little pan. You can do it either way you like. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dump in my potatoes and carrots. And I am going to dump in my entire pan of seasonings, yumminess, my flavor. And if you were gonna add cabbage, which Thea would do, she would do it after she let this cook for a little bit, because cabbage cooks quick and it gets tender since she cuts it up small. So that would be the last thing that she would put into the pot, would be the cabbage. That way it wouldn't get too mushy. But we don't do cabbage in my house. Okay, so no cabbage. And now I just let it cook for a little while with the potatoes. And it smells like childhood. If you want it thicker, they always said smash the beans against the side of the pot. And that would help make it thicker too, which is what I'm gonna do because they like it thick. And if I squish a few potatoes, that's okay, that's a starch too. But anyhow, that's it. Now I'm gonna let this cook with the sofrito in it for maybe about 30 minutes or so, let it get thicker, and then turn it off, and that's it. That's your garbanzo beans. A whole, oh, and then season it. Like if you taste it and you feel like it needs more salt or pepper or more sazon completo or more of that new sazon tropical that I love so much, you know, this stuff right here that I recommend, yeah, add it. Because again, I don't have measurements. It's whatever I like the way it tastes by the end of it. Like I'll let it cook for a little bit just so all the flavors can actually come out, and then taste it and see if it's right. And if not, that's when I'll add it. But yeah, love you.